Good morning, afternoon and evening, my crazies, and my name's Angela and I'm the Crazy Poppy Lady, and I'd like to welcome you back to another tutorial. No, this isn't the one that you was expecting, which was the Christmas one. This is one that I sat and did the other night without really worrying too much, but I did the other night whilst chilling out on the sofa and coming off of my medication for pain relief. Right, so this is a really cute little blanket. It's not the old corner to corner. This is something a lot more simple. Now it is solely a double crochet. Okay, so it's double crochet. It's just the placement of where those double crochets are going to go that will give us the gorgeous texture in this blanket. Okay, I have also made it so that you don't have to add a border if you don't wish to, but if you want to, go for it. Right, so let me show you it. It's the it's the Biddy baby blanket. Okay, so here we go. Hopefully that is showing you the textures quite nicely. Right, so on this pattern, it is really beautiful. It's a lovely pattern repeat, absolutely lovely. And once you master it, you're going to speed through this like there's no tomorrow. I had it done in 2 evenings. That was it, 2 evenings, boom, done, dusted. I was like, oh, evening sewn in, and I was like, that was quick. And for me, of course, I'm used to them. They take more than 2 evenings, didn't they? Right, so here is a close-up as best as I can get it on the pattern for you. And there we go. So as you can see, it is erased in some parts and flat in others. Okay, now this little section here, which is the erased parts, there we go, is a really good, gorgeous, it's really, oof, squidgy bowl. Okay, but this is what I'm nicknaming the kisses section, because as you work the stitch, you cross over double crochets, which makes little crosses, or better known as kisses. But I will explain how to do all of that and within the video that's coming up. So let's grab your stuff and move down to the table. Come on, let's go have some fun. Okay, so here we are. This is the itty bitty baby blanket, and this is it laid out. Now mine measures in at 22 inches across by 32 in height. That's why I've had to fold it, because it doesn't all fit on screen. Now as you can see, there are two. It's a textured blanket. It's also a double-sided, so it doesn't matter which side you're looking at, they both look the same, which I think is absolutely brilliant. It's also quite a light and a floaty, airy material once made up. So let's fold this up and I'll show you what you need. You are going to need, of course, a tape measure, some scissors. Yep, these are my dodgy ones. I can't find me posh ones. We're going to need a darning needle. You are going to need your choice of yarn. As I said, I used pinwheel for the one that I'm showing you in the images, but if you go on to this link up here, this will take you through to my pinwheel video, which also shows you a couple of other choices of yarn that look identical but come in different colourways. Okay, now you will also need your 5.5mm hook. Okay, that by using our 5.5, and that gives us a very floaty, nice, light fabric. Right, so for today, instead of using my leftover pinwheel, I'm going to do it in a plain, boring pink, just because that's what I have to hand. Now I'm only going to be doing a sample of this blanket. I will not be doing the whole blanket again, although to be honest, it is quite a nice easy pattern to do with a very easy pattern repeat. Right, so let's talk a little bit about the pattern repeat. As you can see here, we have got some double crochets, and then we've got what I like to nickname kisses. Okay, these are crossed and double crochets, which I will show you how to do shortly. And that section there is our pattern repeat, working from there up to the bottom of the next set of kisses. So that is it. That is our pattern repeat. Okay, now I will be making a section that's this bit and this bit, just to help you out a little bit. But you will know then that when I have finished my row and you're carrying on with kisses. How cute. For today's sample, I am going to be using Signet Pato Everyday DK in the colourway Nude Pink. Okay, now this one here is a machine washable at 40, which is why I picked it, and it is 100% acrylic. Okay, so that is the Signet Pato Everyday DK. If you like the colour of this yarn, or you want to see the rest of their range, there is a link in the description box and down below that will take you through to Secret Yarn Stash, where she has loads of gorgeous yarn at really good prices. Okay, now she ships to the UK and Ireland, I believe. Right, so before we start the pattern, I'd best tell you what the pattern repeat is. And now the pattern repeat is 21 and plus 7, or 8 if you are doing the chain and then work into the chain method. But I am going to be showing you how to do the foundation double crochet chain, which I prefer to use nowadays for blankets because it gives the blanket itself more mobility. Now, if you want to make your blanket exactly the same as mine, you will need to do a foundation double crochet chain of 70. Okay, so to do that, what we do is we pop a slip knot on our hook over and chain 2. Into the second chain from the hook, we are going to hook over and place a double crochet, making sure that you pick up 2 sections of that loop. Okay, hook over, pull through 1, keeping that one quite loose, hook over, pull through 2, hook over, pull through 2, and then we're going to do that again, and we're going to keep going. So it's hook over, turn your work slightly, you will see a V, pop your hook through both parts of that V, hook over, pull up your yarn, keeping it loose, hook over, pull through 1, hook over, pull through 2, hook over, pull through 2, and that is how you create the double crochet foundation stitch. So what you've got there is you've got your double crochet and you're working your chain at the same time. Now we're just going to carry on doing that now until you have the desired length of your project. Remember, your multiples are 21 plus 7. Okay, meet me back here when you have the amount that you need. Now remember, for the size of the blanket I have got below me, that is a chain of 70. Right, I'll see you shortly. If you have not done a foundation double crochet chain before, follow the link up here. This will take you through to a video where I'm doing it a lot slower for you. Okay, and then meet me back here, of course, when you have the desired amount of stitches needed. Welcome back. Right, so you have got the chain of your desired length. Now is a time to work on to row 2. So for this one we are going to chain 1 and turn our work, then in to the same place that the chain comes out of, so your very first stitch, we will place a double crochet. Then we're going to double crochet all the way along your row. Keep a check on the amount of stitches you have. Make sure you give them a count at the end to make sure that they still match. Right, I will meet you here when you get to the end of row 2. Right, so here we are coming up on the last stitch. Okay, now when you do your chain 1 and turn, that chain 1 does not count, okay, as a stitch, so just ignore it. Okay, but remember to do it, just ignore it in your counting. Right, so for row 3 we are going to double crochet all the way along. And when you get to the end of this row, meet me back here. Okay, so here we are at the end of row 3 with your last double crochet. Count your stitches and make sure you still got the same amount. Now chain 1 and turn your work. Now this is the start of our pattern repeat section, and this is all you're going to need to know from this point on. So I am going to work from row 4 up to row 13 with you, or the end of row 13 I should say, and then it is just a case of rewinding this section if you need the help. So there will be a timestamp put just here. Right, so let's start on row number 4. Of course you've already done your chain 1 and turned your work, so we are now going to do 7 double crochets over the next 7 stitches. Now it's time for the kisses. So the kisses are worked over 2 stitches and they are still double crochet stitches, it's just the placement of where you're putting them. So our very first double crochet is not this one but the next one, so you're skipping a stitch and place a double crochet in. Okay, that bit's nice and easy, isn't it? Now this next bit, hook over your yarn. We're going to place our hook behind the double crochet that you've just created, okay, and then in to the chain gap there, okay, and then we're going to hook over, pull up our yarn, hook over, pull through 2, hook over, pull through 2, and that completes our first kiss. Okay, so now we're going to do that again, so we're going to skip the next stitch and work a double crochet into the next one. Hook over, bring your hook behind your double crochet, and then up, and then through the top of the last double crochet. Hook over, pull through your yarn, hook over, pull through 2, hook over, pull through 2. That's kiss number 2 done. So let's do this for kiss number 3. Skip 1, double crochet, go back 1 stitch and pop in a double crochet. Okay, so that's 3 kisses, and in total we are going to do 7. So I'll show you how to do it again. It's skip 1, pop a double crochet in, hook over, bring your hook and your yarn behind the double crochet, pop your hook through that previous stitch, hook over, pull up your yarn, hook over, pull through 2, hook over, pull through 2. Okay, and on to the next one. It is a little bit fiddly until you get used to it, but once you do, all of a sudden you'll just speed through them. I'm trying to do them quite slowly for you. I only learnt how to do these earlier on this week. Oh. Okay, so how many kisses have I kissed so far? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One more to go. You may find it easier to hold that first double crochet and down as you're working into the previous stitch, and then it just rolls back over. Right, so now you have your 7 kisses. We are then going to end up the row with 7 double crochets. Okay, so that is my sample section done. So the repeat that you are going to need to remember is 7 kisses, 7 double crochets, 7 kisses, 7 double crochets, and you will always start and end each row with 7 double crochets. Okay, so remember, 7 double crochets, 7 kisses, 7 double crochets. Okay, I will put the proper name for this stitch on the screen anyway, but as I said, I like to call it kisses because then we all know where we're going with it. So meet me back here when you have finished row 4. Now it's time for row 5. So for this one, we chain up 1 and you turn your work. Then we are going to place a double crochet in that very first stitch. And we are going to repeat row 4. So that is 7 double crochets, 7 kisses, and then our repeat of 7 double crochets, 7 kisses until we get to the end. Remember, you're ending with 7 double crochet. Okay, so let's do this row with you. And hopefully you guys will have picked up this pattern quite nicely and you're finding it quite easy to do. If you're not, don't worry. Just go back a little bit and repeat the section until it makes sense to you. If it doesn't make sense, have a look at other YouTubers that are using the a stitch that you're not sure about, and I'm assuming it's going to be the kisses. So as I said, I've put the proper name for the kisses on screen. Okay, so you can go off and have a search and see if you can find somebody else that explains it a bit easier for you. Right, so now let me check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Lovely. So and now we are on to the kisses on row 5. So we're going to hook over. We're skipping 1 stitch and popping in the double crochet. We're going to hook over and we're going to go back to the one that we skipped and place in the double crochet. Okay, so that's kiss number 1. Now we're going to skip over, come over to our next kiss and repeat the same process again. Okay, and then on to a kiss number 3. Kiss number 4. Kiss number 5. Kiss number 6. And a kiss and number 7. Right, now it's time for the 7 double crochets. And of course, once you finish your double crochets, you're back onto your kisses again for your 7 kisses and then your 7 double crochet repeats. Once you've done the row, come back and meet me here and we will do our next row. Right, so here we are coming up to a row 6. And so for this one, we do as we've done before. We chain 1 and we turn our work. We place 7 double crochets into the next 7 stitches. And once you have your 7, it's time for our 7 kisses. Oh, so that is, remember, that is a skip 1 stitch and double crochet and then work a double crochet into that first skipped stitch. We're going to do that for the 7. With this pattern, it's really quite simple. Everything is 7s, so it's 7 double crochets, 7 kisses, and you do this pattern section repeat for 7 rows. Yep, it's and I should have called it the Lucky Sevens, but I liked the other name as well. I was torn. Okay, so as I said, once you finish this row, right, so once you've finished your 7 kisses, of course, is 7 double crochets. Once you've finished this row of repeats, which of course is 7 double crochets, 7 kisses, 7 double crochets, meet me back here for the next row. Right, so here we go. We are coming up to the end of this row. Okay, so we're on 1, 2, 3. Now we're up for row 7, so we're going to chain 1 and turn. And again, we are repeating a row number 4. So that is 7s. So 7 double crochets, 7 kisses, repeated all the way to the end. And finish off with 7 double crochets. Right, so meet me back here when you've finished this row. Right, so here we are at the end of row number 7. So we chain up and turn our work, and now we're ready for row number 8. Row number 8 is a repeat of row number 4. So again, that is 7 double crochets followed by 7 kisses followed by 7 double crochets, and we carry on repeating until you get to the end, and you should end up of course with 7 double crochets. Right, so meet me back here in a moment and I'll tell you what to do for the next row. Right, so here we are coming up on the end of row number 8. So for row number 9, we are going to chain 1, we are going to turn our work. And yes, you've guessed it, we are repeating row 4 again. So that is our 7 double crochets followed by 7 kisses and our 7 double crochets, and we keep repeating that until we get to the end, and you will be ending in 7 double crochets. Right, so I will meet you back here in a few moments. Right, so here we are at the end of row 9. Last double crochet in, and now it's a case of chain 1 and turn. Now our repeat for this row is 7 double crochets, 7 kisses and 7 double crochets all the way along. Keep alternating between the 2, and you should end with 7 double crochets. Right, so I will see you when you get to the end of this row. Right, so here we go, a last double crochet into row 10. Don't skip ahead, I hope you haven't anyway, because this is where our pattern slightly changes. We are going to of course do our chain 1 and turn our work. Now it's 3 rows of double crochet, so a double crochet all the way along, chain 1, turn and work all the way back for a count of 3 rows. And so that will take you up to row 13. Okay, so remember 3 rows of a double crochet. So let's work some standard double crochets into the top of your kisses. Don't be crossing them over. And just work standard double crochets all the way along this section. Now this one should work quite fast for you. because of course you're not having to muck about and count one forward or one back. So that's the end of a row 11, and chain 1 turn, double crochet along for row 12. Right, here we are at the end of a row 12. So for row 13, you chain 1 and turn your work. Now it is a double crochet all the way along. When you get to the end of this row, and this is the end of your pattern repeat. Right, so here we are coming up for the last stitch. Okay, so from this point on, what I'm going to ask you to do is rewind the video back. I will put a timestamp in the description box for the start of the repeat rows. Okay, so then all you need to do is make a note of how many times you've repeated the pattern. So you will be repeating from rows 4, this one here, which is your first row of kisses, so that's row 4 up to row 11, which is the third set of double crochet rows. Okay, so that is rows 4 through to row 13. Now you are going to do those repeats up for the length of your blanket that you want. Now if you're following along with my pattern, I have done 5 repeats in total. Okay, so that's 5 repeats in total, and that's 3 blocks of kisses going the length of the project and 5 going up. Okay, so if you have extended your project using the pattern information, the pattern repeat information at the beginning, which was 21 plus 7, of course. If you have done that, you may wish to then extend the length of your project. What I suggest is any extension that you've done lengthways, you also do the same in height as well. Okay, and then hopefully that will give you a really nice cover for whichever size bed you have chosen to do. So thank you ever so much for watching this video today and hopefully making this blanket. If you have, I would absolutely love to see your versions of this blanket by either firing off the image in an email to me. The information for my email is in the description box down below. Or of course you can join the Facebook group where you're able to then post a picture up of your blanket on the Facebook group. What I do ask is please no children in, or children's faces I should say, within your imagery, because I would love to show your work on the channel, but I want to make sure that I'm keeping your little bambino safe. Right, as I said, I'm going to head off now. I will see you all really soon. So if you can, please stay in and definitely stay safe. Ta-ra for now, everybody.